So this is something else. We actually have an update to the DoorDash girl situation. This is wild. So as you may or may not know, I made this video on the DoorDash girl situation when the story originally broke. Go watch the video. And in this video, unlike most people who are not like me, I was actually being very nuanced. I was not blaming her or blaming the guy. I was saying, well, really it all comes down to if the door was open or not, and that's how we find out who's to blame. But we didn't know who opened the door. We didn't know if the wind simply did it, if she pushed it open, or if he left it open. We had no idea. So I pondered in this video what would be the results for both possibilities. And while doing that, I mentioned a couple factors that had been brought up by multiple people. For example, the video of her supposedly opening the door, which a lot of people claim to have saw, but nobody can provide evidence for because the video was scrubbed from the internet, which was a surprising thing right from the beginning, because even if the video did exist but was deleted off the internet shortly after, usually at least one person would have downloaded it super fast. Because historically, that's what happens. A situation where a video gets taken down and not one person has been able to re-upload it is actually a very shocking thing and is almost like an internet fossil. To find this situation really does come off like an internet fossil. I mean, let me ask you yourself, have you ever seen a single time in the entire history of the internet where a video got taken down and it was so hard to find that not even one person was able to find it and repost it? Not me. This is literally the first time in internet history where this has happened, and that is quite impressive. But because that happened, all the people claiming, well, I saw the original video, were put across as liars. And they were actually made to look like even more of liars because people started photoshopping a picture that makes the door look closed, and the text on her video was covered up by the door, proving that it was a photoshopped picture. So not only do we have people looking like liars because no one has this video, but also people started photoshopping, which made it look even worse. But we have a very impressive update. Now, before I actually show you the update, I want to show you this guy's video. So this is Dan from Men Need to Be Heard. He is a men's rights activist, and I watch his content quite often because he actually fights for real equality and the rights of oppressed men. His name is Dan, and I watch his content quite often, and from what I've seen, he tends to be a very honest person. He also made a video when this story originally broke, and he claims that he saw the original video. No, I mean the original video. He claims that he actually saw the video that supposedly shows Olivia opening the door herself. Now, he didn't describe what the video was. Now, when something like this happens where it's so rare, I think it's a good idea for the one person on Earth who knows about it to maybe give a bit more detail so that they can, prove that they did in fact see it. But he didn't. All he did was say, I saw the original video, moving on. But he made a follow-up video yesterday, a couple days ago, where he says this.
Place the claim appears is from her TikTok, after the fact, after her original video was taken down. Now, I will tell you, I personally saw that original video before it was scrubbed from the internet. And the door, well, let's just say it wasn't as wide open as she's now claiming.
You see, again, I'm not saying that he's lying, but I really don't like that Dan is aware of just how rare this video is. In fact, it's so rare it doesn't even exist. There's not one single copy. Literally, not even one. So I would expect him to, while he acknowledges that the internet hasn't seen it and it's become quite a debate if this video even exists or not, I would expect him to give a bit more detail of what he saw in the video rather than just, I saw the video. When you don't give detail for something this rare, it kind of makes it look like you didn't see it, but you're just saying you did. Maybe he did see it, I'm just saying that's the way it sounds.
But unfortunately, I didn't save that video, and it's since been removed, scrubbed completely from the internet,
True.
which is a pretty telling thing. Thus, I can only share my personal experience of having viewed it, so I want you to take that for what it's worth.
I would love to take that for what it's worth, Dan, but I need you to at least explain what you saw in that original video.
Choose to believe me or not.
Now, let's finally look at the evidence that might suggest that he and everyone who's claiming they saw the original video are in fact telling the truth. A couple minutes later in his video, he says this.
And while I can't say for certain that she's done this before...
Now, of course, history doesn't always represent the present or future, but it most certainly can and often does. Let's see what he's talking about, shall we?
There is another video she filmed and posted inside an empty apartment, claiming it was her old place, and she just happened to let herself in. Check it out.
I was kicked out of this apartment.
By the way, before we look at this video, you need to find it ironic because another one of the things that made this story so interesting is how she's clearly an SJW feminist, but didn't actually look like one. In the DoorDash video, she just looked like a very generic girl. We didn't see the traditional SJW crap of colored hair, nose ring, all that shit. And now, just a couple months later, well, I'd say now she looks like an SJW. Holy fuck. Did this situation just morph her into an SJW? She goes from looking normal to this. Wow.
6 months ago. Nobody is currently living in it. How did I get in? That's a secret I'll never tell.
So, here we have a video of her letting herself into what she says is her old apartment, and she just simply broke in, and then says, "How did I get in? I'll never tell." What this represents, and why this is evidence that the video may in fact be real, is simply because it's pattern recognition. She's clearly a person who goes into spaces that are not hers, unwarranted, and without consent. Just like the DoorDash situation.
Now, I'm not saying she broke in. I'm not saying that's a crime. I'm simply playing the clip so that you can decide whether or not that looks normal. Whether that seems like someone who doesn't respect boundaries.
Yeah, that's very possible. Now, let's go even further, because the story doesn't end there. DoorDash driver Olivia arrested after sharing a video of naked customer passed out in his own home. An upstate New York DoorDash driver has been busted on felony charges after filming a half-naked customer passed out drunk on his couch, which she later claimed was a form of sexual assault. Remember, in this video, she was screaming, "I'm the victim! I'm the victim!" It was so funny. And it makes it believable, right, to all the stupid people. Well, let's continue. The Dasher was arrested last week and faces up to 8 years in prison if convicted of 2 felonies. She had been the one to contact cops, claiming she had been deliberately lured by the man, even though he appeared to be passed out in his own home. My customer requested that my order be left at their front door, and when I arrived at their house, their front door was wide open, and they were within eyesight of the front door, laying on the couch, indecently exposed to me. She claimed in one TikTok video about the October 12th incident. However, and this is where we finally have possible confirmation, Ring camera footage appears to show Henderson let herself into the man's house, and police have said there is no indication she was encouraged to go in, let alone film. There it is! Finally, over a month later, we have kind of confirmation that she, in fact, opened the door herself and played victim just to get internet views. But, while I do believe what this says, with all the theories and the claims that the original video showed her doing it, and even the claims about the man's Ring doorbell, I have to say that she is in fact guilty, and she opened the door herself and pretended it was wide open just to harm an innocent man and get views. But I will give you one caveat, just because that's the kind of person I am, I'm always fair. And just to be fair, before I even say it, this might happen. Like, after I upload this video. It might happen tomorrow. It might happen next week. It might happen next month. But I'm just saying, at the time of me filming this video, it hasn't happened yet. Before filming, I did search the internet as much as I could, and I couldn't find it. The police claim that he has a Ring camera with footage on it. But we haven't seen that yet. That's just a claim. But, of course, again, with pattern recognition, the information we do have available, and the fact that she could be facing 8 years in jail, I would say it's most likely that this article isn't lying, because why would they lie about a fake Ring camera footage video and then give her 8 years in jail for a lie? Obviously, they wouldn't be... There wouldn't be the potential to throw her in jail for 8 years if this footage doesn't exist. So I'm going to say most likely it does. Especially when you realize this is a woman. You know, systematically, obviously, everything always supports women. Women never face consequences. So again, if the article's lying and this Ring camera footage doesn't exist, and she's female, there is no way that she would face 8 years in jail. So I think because of that, we can confirm that this video is in fact real. Henderson now faces 2 charges. 1 count of unlawful surveillance in the 2nd degree, and 1 count of dissemination of unlawful surveillance images in the 1st degree. If found guilty, she faces up to 8 years in prison. So there you have it. All this drama, and it really does highlight what we've been saying for years. And how much I fucking hate it. This whole shit that if it's a man, it's always guilty until proven innocent, and if it's a woman, it's always innocent until proven guilty. It is bullshit. This woman had so much support, so much doubt. Some of it was warranted because we hadn't seen the supposed full, original video. But the fact that so many people were not at least 50-50 like I was, giving nuance, saying, well, what if, because we haven't seen it yet and people are claiming it's real. Nothing. Just instantaneous. The man did it on purpose. She didn't open the door, defend her, protect her. Her screaming on her videos, I'm a victim! Feel sorry for me! This is all happening to me! For no reason! I did nothing wrong! Quite an act, isn't it? It's amazing that women can do this shit and very often get away with it. And she would have gotten away with it if that guy didn't have a Ring doorbell. It's fucking wild. It is absolutely crazy. But that doesn't make it surprising. It's the same shit we see with women all the fucking time. The fact that she could be getting 8 years in jail is totally warranted, and I hope she learns something. That despite what society tells you, you can't do whatever you want just for being female. But that doesn't mean society is not broken as fuck. Take care.